What up, bro? It's your boy Cash, constantly achieving successful habits every day. You heard? Let's get a line. You already know. Back with another episode. Like always, keep y'all in the know. Let y'all know what's going on. So, I just posted a couple of old pictures of me and my family, and my sister has sent them. She always had like these throwback pictures of when we was younger and things like that. And I don't know where she be getting them from, but she be having it. I be loving a lot of them. You know what I mean? However, when I was looking at these pictures, I saw myself like I had confidence at that point in time. I think I was maybe in like the sixth, seventh grade at that point in time in my life, probably like 13, 14. I thought I was cool. I thought I was the man. I was living in Fayetteville, probably going to either Ann Chestnut or Douglasburg Middle School, one or the other. I don't know exactly. However, what I was thinking about is where did that confidence go in between time, in the meantime, as I got older? Because as I got older, I started getting bigger. I started getting a little bit insecure in myself in a lot of different things. And what I realized when looking back and thinking about those pictures is the first time I became insecure in myself is in the eighth grade. It was when I tried out for the eighth grade football team at Douglasburg Middle School, and I thought I was good at football, even though I never did or played any organized football in my life. But I was fast. I remember like every Sunday, me and my little cousin, we would time each other on the 50-yard dash, running like every Sunday. When I say straight after church, we would run, time each other, see if we was getting faster. I played football every single day, like every day after school. I would go to my friend's house. We would gather in his yard. He had a nice sized yard, and we would just play football. And I felt like I was good, but prior to my belief, I guess I wasn't as good as I thought I was. I was probably one of the fastest kids in there, but however, from my understanding of the thing is I think I went out for wide receiver, but I was small. I was probably about, I'm gonna say 5'4". I was probably 5'6" until probably about the end of 10th grade, the summer of going to the 11th grade. That's when I started sprouting up. So I was small and I was fast. And what I realized at that point in time is I probably should have went out for running back. However, I didn't, and I got cut. And I remember my family, especially my sisters and brother, they would tease me about getting cut. And that wasn't the only time or the first time I got cut from a sports team. I got cut from my ninth grade basketball team. I was good at basketball, but that wasn't my passion. Like I would play. My brother was better than me. He was always beating me in basketball all the time. I would win once in a while, and I would get mad, like furious, wanting to fight him, throw the ball at him, kick the ball in the woods. I would do whatever when I lost. Like I was a sore loser. Even in video games, I was a sore loser. But understanding that is understanding that's when I became or started or me realizing that I became insecure in myself at that point in time was the eighth grade. It was a turning point in my life where it was the first time I faced defeat. I had never really faced defeat in my life of understanding what it took to overcome an obstacle or overcome failure. When I was young, like fighting probably was one of the best. I wouldn't say I would always get in fights, but when I got in fights, I always won. Wrestling matches, won. Racing, won. Like I was a little confident kid until life hit me in the face, and I didn't know how to bounce back from it. And me realizing that now and understanding that all I had to do was practice a little bit more and hone my skills a little bit more and just tweak it a little bit more, like go back and try it again and go a little harder. But I gave up on myself at that point in time. I gave up on myself because I felt like I wasn't good enough. I blamed my father for it for a while because he wasn't there to help me catch the football, and understanding it wasn't his fault because at the end of the day he was working, he was providing for us at that point in time, and I wasn't telling him that I wanted to try for football. I wasn't telling him to practice with me. I just wanted to go out. I thought I was good at it, and I feel like I still was good at it. Like I said, I just wasn't organized, and I didn't know how to transfer me not being able to make the team to me getting better. Like it's like the story of Michael Jordan when he got cut in the ninth grade, and he went back that summer. He practiced all summer. I didn't do that. I gave up on it, and that's understanding the fear of failure, man. And that's what I want to talk about, and that's what I'm getting at. The fear of failure. The fear of failure, man, can cripple you. It could damage you and can hold you hostage for a long time if you let it. It can make you feel like you're not good enough because of somebody else's ideology of what you should be or who you should be or how good you should be, and not understanding that you're still great no matter what. And when you understand that you're great no matter what, people can't dictate who you are, and they can't sway your confidence, or they can't sway where you're going. Because when you know who you are, even in the process of failing, you know that this failure is just a learning lesson. It's just a growth. Because what you don't grow through, you go through over and over again. And when you don't understand that in the process of failure, it's just something that could be learned, and that could be implemented, or that can be taught, or that can be given a little bit more analyzing to make yourself a little bit better. And that's what I didn't realize at a young age. And me being an adult at 35 now, that was probably what, I'm going to say a little bit less than 20 years ago. Me understanding that now is understanding that I keep pushing. I don't just stop when I do something. Even though I might fail at it, I keep going. I keep figuring out ways how to get better at it. If I got to study it, if I got to push a little bit harder, because I know at this point in time in my life, all of it is mental. Everything is mental at this point in time in your life for everybody. And if you can get through that mental part, understanding that you can get through anything, if you can tell yourself and you can believe in yourself, then you can definitely know that each step along the way is more powerful than the step before. Even if you trip, even if you fall, even if you fail, that step that you took was an action step. It was a step that you moved forward. So you shouldn't be ashamed of failing, because at least you took the action. You should be ashamed of not taking action instead of taking action, because when you take action, at least you're putting yourself in a predicament to win. Because when you don't put yourself in a situation to win, you're going to lose every time. There's zero chances of you winning if you don't put yourself out there. So I'm constantly learning that I need to put myself out there more, and not worrying about other people's opinion, or not worrying about the failures that come along, because when the failures come along, I know that the glory days is going to be right behind it. Because I know those glory days are going to be right behind it, because I'm going to keep going. And I know that even when we see the rain, and we might look at the rain as something that, oh, it's messing up my parade, but at the end of the day, the rain plants some of the most beautiful plants in the world. So failure sometimes builds the most beautiful people in the world. From failure, you have some of the greatest inventions that ever exist in this world. You got some of the greatest people, some of the greatest actors, some of the greatest philanthropists, some of the greatest architectures, whatever it may be, musicians, rappers, whoever. They started as something that they failed at, and they knew that they wanted to get better at it. They knew they enjoyed it. They knew that they wanted to prove to themselves, and not prove to others, but prove to themselves that they could do it. And that's what journey we're on. We're on a journey, and we're on the process of understanding that we have to prove to ourselves that we're good enough, that we can keep going, that we don't have to stop because of a shortcoming, or because of a hiccups, or because of a slip and a fall. We got to understand that at the end of the day, you can get back up, dust yourself off, try and try again. Because if you don't try again, how will you ever know how great you are? How? If you don't try again. You have to put yourself back in the race. Failure is not bad at all. Failure is honestly sometimes the best things that wake you up to show you that, oh, I need improvement on this. I need to twerk this a little bit different. I can give an example. Me starting off when I first started dating my wife, and I probably told this story before. When I first started dating my wife, I knew how to cook a little bit. I knew how to cook simple things. I knew how to cook small and minuscule things, but it wasn't good. I didn't know how to season it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how long to cook it. And I remember a couple of times my kids, they would throw the food away. I remember one time my son stuffed the food in his pockets. It was some fish that I cooked, baked fish that I cooked, and he stuffed it inside of his pockets because it wasn't good. But in the process of that, as I kept going and I kept trying in different ways of cooking and kept wanting to learn how to cook and wanted to make them want to eat my food, I started enjoy cooking. And now I cook probably sometimes 2 to 3 times a week because I know they're going to enjoy it. And if they don't enjoy it and if they don't like it, I'm able to reassess what did I could do better or what could I do better to make them enjoy it. And understanding that is understanding, man, life gives you some of the best gifts when you look back at yourself and you learn the lessons in the process of it. Because when you learn the lessons in the process of it, you can't help but to become more powerful. You can't help but become better. You can't help but to become greater than what you was already are. Because within all of us, we have greatness. Within every ounce and fiber in our body, we have the ability to go at it again. We have the ability to try one more time. We have the ability to change our mindset and to say, I'm not going to give up on myself, but I'm going to try it one more time and see how it works out. And then I'm going to try it again and see how it works out. And if I fail again, I'm going to try it again and see how it works out. Because if you understand that, you understand the story of, I think it was, is it Tom Edison or the light bulb guy? I'm sorry, my mind went blank right there. However, he said that he had never failed. He just figured out 1,000 ways of how it wouldn't work. And if he didn't figure out 1,000 ways of how it wouldn't work, where would we be at with the light bulb? And understand the process of understanding the light bulb. There was other inventions that before it, but he was the main person who people identified with. And when you get yourself identified with, you understand that you put yourself in a predicament to fail. You put yourself in the situation that maybe you're going to fail. But at the same time, you put yourself in the position to win and to succeed. And by putting that step forward and by giving yourself the opportunity to fail and to the opportunity to win and to succeed and to take actions, it gives you a greater chance at success. And I'm going to sign off with that because we have to get over the fear of failure. We have to keep pushing. We have to understand that failure is not our enemy, but it is a friend if we're able to listen to the friend and learn from the friend. It's just like an enemy. We can recognize that somebody might be our enemy, but there's a lesson to be learned. Why is it triggered? What is it that's triggering us that we need to learn from this situation, that we need to improve ourselves? And from that, we can move forward and become a better person, and we can become a greater version of ourselves. And like I said, I'm going to sign off with that because it's all day, every day, constantly achieving successful habits every day. You heard? Let's get a line. Shh. You hear that? You hear that sound? What's that sound? Greatness, 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 greatness. I'm out.